Hi, I'm Suzanne and welcome to this lunchtime yoga practice. So it's a short sequence that you can do before lunch or any time of the day really, getting some movement back into the body, getting you energised for the rest of the day. The whole sequence will be standing, so you shouldn't need any equipment. We'll have a little play with balance, and maybe if you're wobbly, you can be near a wall or have a chair or table to hold onto. So get yourself ready, roll out your mat, and then when you're ready, we'll start in mountain pose. So bringing the feet either hip distance apart, or you can bring the toes to touch. So a little space between the heels. Allow the shoulders to roll back and down, so palms face forward. So you get a nice sense of opening and space through the chest. And then connect down through your feet. So maybe lift all 10 toes, and then you can just lightly place them back down on the mat. Taking a deep breath in here, and a sigh out. And then allowing the breath just to settle into a steady rhythm. As you breathe in, maybe you can feel yourself growing a little bit taller. And as you breathe out, maybe softening the shoulders a little bit more, grounding down through the feet. So just take a couple of rounds of breath like that, connecting to your breath. So keeping it nice and easy, no sense of force in the breath, so nice steady rhythm. And then when you're ready, we'll start to bring a little bit of movement in. So just starting with the neck, just gently turning the head from side to side. So inhale as you bring it back to center, and then exhale, turning it the opposite way. So nice steady movements. And just notice how it feels in your neck. So one side might feel a little bit tighter than the other. So if it does, you can pause there. Maybe take a couple of extra breaths into that tight spot and then start to move it back again. Just nice, gentle movements. We'll take a couple more like this. Nice, steady. And then as you come back to center, so we'll bring some movement into the shoulders. So start to take the shoulders up, back and down. So getting a nice range of motion. So inhaling as you bring the shoulders up to the ears, and exhale, roll them down the back. So any pops and cracks welcome if they're anything like my shoulders. So getting a little bit of movement in there. And then once you've taken a few one way, just reversing. So bringing them up, forward and down. So just easing into the shoulder joints, getting some movement there. And then come back to stillness, maybe have a little shake out and a shimmy out through the shoulders and the hands. And then bring the forearms together and interlace the hands. So we'll get a little bit of movement in the wrists here. So just start to move the wrists around a little bit. So there's no right or wrong, just have a little move around in any direction, just freeing up any tension there, any tightness. Maybe take the arms up and down a little bit. A couple more like this. And then we'll release again and have a little shake out. If there's any tension there built up in the shoulders or the wrists, have a little shake out. And then on the next inhale, you're going to reach the arms up over the head. Maybe gaze up if that feels good for the neck. And then exhale, hands come to heart center. So we'll take another couple like this. So breathing in, reach the arms wide, lengthen through the side body as you reach up. And exhale, hands to heart center. So one more like this. Breathing in, reach out, reach up as you lengthen through the body. And exhale, hands come to heart center. And then let's take the hands and we'll interlace the hands, press the palms up towards the ceiling. So inhaling, lifting up onto the balls of the feet. Exhale to lower. So this time we're going to lift up onto the balls of the feet, lift the heels, come as high as you can, and we'll pause here. So pressing up through palms of hands, breathing here for 2, and 1, and release, let go, release the heels back down, releasing the arms back down. So separating the feet a little bit wider, come into some half sun salutations. So as you breathe in, take the arms wide again, reach them up above the head. As you exhale, fold forward so you can soften the knees if that feels better. Release the head and neck down. Take a breath in, halfway lift. So hands might come to shins, the knees, maybe reach back through the fingertips. And exhale, release again into a fold. So let the head be nice and heavy here. As you inhale, press into the feet, rise all the way up. Arms will reach up, extended mountain pose. And exhale, hands to heart center. So we'll take one more like that. Breathing in, take the arms up, reach up, maybe gaze up. Exhale to fold, bring it all the way down, soften the knees, let the head release. So on your inhale, press into the feet. You're going to rise all the way up, arms reach up above the head. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Take a deep breath in here. And a sigh out. So we'll come into goddess pose now. So you'll be facing the long edge of your mat. Taking your feet as wide as you can. Toes turn out. And then you're going to bend into the knees. So sinking your hips down. Keep a lift through the upper body. Switch on your glutes here. So activate through your glutes. You're nice and strong in the legs. And then place the hands on the thighs. So roll the shoulders back and down. So no tension there. And then just start to take a little rock from side to side. And we'll come back to stillness. So we'll come into cactus arms. So you're going to bend the elbows, roll the shoulders back and down. So feel like you're squeezing, almost like a pencil between your shoulder blades. So you're really getting that openness through the chest. Maybe sink your bum a little bit lower. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, we're going to twist to one side, keeping the arms in cactus. As you inhale, come back to center again. Exhale, twist the opposite way. Breathing in, back to center. Exhale to twist. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to twist. Inhale, come back to center. And then release the arms. Maybe have a little shake out in the legs. You might feel that quite strongly in the thighs there. So have a little shake out. And then we'll come into a little bit of balancing. So if you do know that your balance isn't great, you might want to have a chair, or if you're near a wall, you can use anything you have close by for stability. So bringing the feet about hip distance apart and just start gently rocking from foot to foot. So you're getting a sense of connecting down through your feet, getting a sense of grounding. And then taking the weight in one foot, whichever foot you like, lift up the opposite knee. Hands to hips, and just start to take a little bit of movement. So root down through the standing leg, get nice and firm through your foot. Keep your gaze nice and steady, so fix your gaze on something that's not moving. We're moving into the hip here, so any which way you like, have a little wriggle around. And then come back to center with the knee. We'll come into tree pose. So you might have toes on the mat, turning the knee out to the side. You may have the foot to the calf, or option, you can bring the foot to the thigh. For any of those variations, choose the one that feels most stable. Steady your gaze. Steady your breath. So hands might stay on hips. Maybe you bring hands to heart center. Just notice how it feels here. You might want to have a little play and reach the arms up towards the ceiling. And maybe you start to take the gaze up towards the ceiling. Just notice what happens. If you fall out, don't worry about it, just come back in. Taking another couple of breaths here. And then release, come back to center. Have a little walk out if it feels good, just releasing, have a little bend, and then we'll take it to the opposite side. So taking the weight in the opposite foot, hands to hips maybe, or again, if you're using a wall or a chair or a table for stability. And then lifting the opposite leg, so knees bent. So begin just taking circles with the knee. Getting some movement into the hip. You might start to straighten the leg out. Just any which way you like, moving into that hip joint. And then bringing the knee back to center. And then coming into tree pose on this side. So again, toes on the mat, maybe to the calf, or maybe to the thigh. So it might feel different on each side, so feel free to do a different variation. So if you've got the foot and the leg together, press the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot. So strong connection between the two. Sometimes that can help with balance. Keep your eyes focused on something that's not moving. Steady your breath. And maybe you start to reach the arms up. So maybe you stay here. Or you can even have a little play, closing the eyes, even for a second. See what happens. Taking one more breath here. And then slowly releasing the foot back to the mat. Again, any little moves to release any tension. And then coming back, as we started, into mountain pose. So connect down through your feet. Nice and strong and solid through your base. Shoulders roll back and down, palms face forward. Take a deep breath in here. And a full breath out. And thank you very much for practicing with me today, and hope to see you again soon. Take care.